And it was terribly important, very important. It still is, but it's naturally being diminished by other things nowadays. But no, it was a very happy upbringing. I was besotted by sport, and I loved it, and I still do.
You coming from a working class background, do you think one of the things that appealed about sport, because you always loved to write about sport, and was the fact that in a kind of unfair and dirty world, sometimes sport is seen to be fair, isn't it? 9 times out of 10, the best team will win, the best fighter will win, a boxing match.
Yeah, there was that kind of sense of pride, I suppose, in your local community. I just love the art of sport. I've always been attracted. It's strange for somebody who came from Barnsley and watched Skin and Ormington. I was always attracted by the great players, by the players where that's something different. I love grace in sport more than anything else. All my heroes have been in soccer and in cricket and in rugby, any sport, the graceful people, the people who move beautifully. You watch George move, for instance. Extraordinary player. You watch, Tiger Woods swing a golf club. You watch Tom Graveney or David Gower bat. It lifts the idea of watching sport into a different, more artistic, if you like, level, and that's what I've always liked.
And do you still regret that you could have been a contender at cricket?
No, I couldn't.
Only the army wanted you.
Yeah, but no. I couldn't. I'd have been a fair county player. That's all. I would have been retired now.
And that's still made. You've made it, haven't you? Though, if you played for a county.
Except that I've been retired now, 45 years, with a sweet shop in Barnsley, for Christ's sake. Now, come on. What's been better? That or doing what I did. I was with Geoffrey Boycott and Dickie Byrne on the Barnsley side, and we went to the Yorkshire Nets together. And I was batting in the nets, and Arthur Mitchell, the coach, was chatting to Dickie Byrne. After I said to Dickie, "What did he say?" He said, "I don't really like to tell you." I said, "No, tell me." He said, "Is that lad batting now? Is he a mate of thine?" And Dickie said, "He is." He said, "Has he got a job?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "What is it?" He said, "He's a reporter." He said, "Well, tell him to keep reporting."
Lovely.
So that was me done at Yorkshire, you see. But Dickie went on and became, an umpire in the career, and Geoffrey, of course, who knew he'd play for Yorkshire in England. But no regrets. I've enjoyed my life.
It was fantastic. And again, the Parkinson show, and maybe it was because it was sort of nestled in that slot just before Match of the Day on a Saturday night. Or was it after? I can't remember.
It was both before and after. Your memory's both right and wrong. Sometimes before, sometimes after. But in those days, of course, the BBC in the 70s, we were that Saturday night lineup. ITV used to lock the station and go home. They didn't have to compete because the BBC was so strong. And you start with Doctor Who, and then you do a Les Dawson show, the two Ronnies, and whatever it might be. And then me and Match of the Day, it's extraordinary. We would get, 12, 14 million people.
And again, what was fantastic about those interview programmes that you did, Parkinson, was you were kind of relatable, because you weren't as posh as even, sort of Russell Harper as affected. I don't mean to say you were like,
No, but Russell had that kind of accent, didn't he? He was certainly in North Country. It's a bit camp,
Well, I don't know.
Love Russell.
But do you know what I mean? I know it sounds awful, but I saw somebody interviewing you the other day, and although he's a nice enough chap, it was kind of, not really someone you would relate to in that way. It was almost like